What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. With Kanye West going into his third week of Good Fridays, I wanted to pose the question to you guys and also answer myself. What do you want out of this new revival of Good Fridays? Now, the first thing I thought of was these records, I want them to kind of stand alone. The thing that I hated about Good Fridays originally was that a lot of, I think it's more than half of the records or about half of the records that he put out leading up to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, they wound up on the album. They made up the bulk of the album. There's I believe it's 6 records. So those 6 records from, the Good Friday series made up the album. And that's why, I don't know, I've never really appreciated My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy for what it is. Maybe it was just like that. And granted, this is 2010 Sermon. This is not 2016 Sermon. 6 years ago, I was kind of like, I don't like this. I don't like the fact that he's just reusing the records. And they're the exact same as when he released them on Good Fridays. Now, they're really good records, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I want to see this new revival kind of chronicle some records that show you the direction of Swish, but don't actually make the album. Now, I'm not 100% sure what the goal is, and if these songs are going to make the album. They could, and they're quality records. And I wouldn't mind if maybe 1 or 2. Maybe if Real Friends and No More Parties in LA, I think if those 2 made it, I'd be fine with that. And then, the rest of the weeks leading up to Swish, and maybe even after, who knows how long he's going to run Good Fridays, those records just not make the album. I would be fine with that, because I don't know how many songs Swish is going to be. I know at one point he said he wanted to make a really short album. It was 8 songs, but that was 2 years ago. So who knows where Kanye is at with Swish at this point in time. But I definitely want to see some records that don't make the album, so I can add them to the album, and I can also appreciate them and enjoy them outside of the album, I guess. Another thing I was thinking about was I don't want to see as many random collaborations as before. One of the things with Good Fridays, and granted, I'm not saying that these things are not working, but I think in terms of what we've gotten from Good Fridays, the revival so far, I think it works better if Kanye does more of these songs himself and kind of enlist, guests, to Ty Dolla $ign and Kendrick Lamar. But there wasn't 7 people on one song. And I think that works because Kanye was in a place in 2015 where a lot of people were doubting him. So building up these Good Friday songs up leading into Swish, he can show people that look, I didn't go anywhere. Like he said on No Parties in LA, the writer's block is over. So I want to see more Kanye and less, big collaborations. Unless it's a really cool one that makes sense. Obviously, if you've been on Twitter in the last 12 hours, you've seen that Kanye was in the studio with Swizz Beatz and Kendrick Lamar last night, and the caption for the Kendrick Lamar record was "Thank you to Madlib for the 6 beat CDs that he just sent over," and then he hashtag scary. So I don't know what his plan is with that. I honestly wouldn't mind an EP from Kanye, Kendrick, and Madlib, but I know it'll probably never happen. But still, it'll be interesting to see if that trio of a combination collaborates again. I know Kanye is obviously going to work with Kendrick again. They were in the studio last night, but will it be over a Madlib beat or will it be over something else? And what kind of role is Swizz Beatz going to play? Is he going to be that hype man that's in the background, let's go now? Or is he going to be, strictly production? Who knows? I know Sci-Hi was also in the studio with them, so we might see one of those long collaboration songs. But I don't know, because we haven't gotten that 3rd record yet. But those are the 2 big things that I was thinking of for Good Fridays. The revival leading up to Swish. Those are the 2 things I want. I want records that aren't on the album, more records that aren't on the album than what is on the album, and less big collaborations and more Kanye. So those are the 2 things that I thought of when I thought about the question, and I'd love to know, what do you want out of Good Fridays leading up to Swish? and possibly after. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about my choices? Do you agree with them? Do you disagree? Let me know. Let's start a dialogue. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Share the video. Follow me on Twitter at SermonsDomain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.